Welcome to another one-on-one session here at OKPreps Media Days. I'm Michael Knight, now joined by Beggs senior Kendal Daniels. Kendal, obviously one of the more highly recruited players in the state of Oklahoma, and you still got a decision to make in the future. But before we get to all that, man, let's talk about the last couple of years for you. Going from just a young cat, trying to get some playing time to becoming one of the more dominant players in Class 2A. How have the last couple of years, helped you as far as your development, and what's some of the things that you take away from your experience the last couple of seasons?
Becoming a great leader for my teammates and be able to just play at a high ability and stuff like that and just play better.
Now, obviously, the last couple of years haven't ended the way you guys would want. What has been different about this offseason other than, obviously dealing with a pandemic and things like that? But what's been different with you guys, trying to prepare for another run at the playoffs, another run at a potential state title?
It's different because we can't really use the weight rooms and stuff because of all this. So we just try to stay focused and make sure we wake up every morning and just go work hard.
How have you guys gotten creative? Because you mentioned not being able to get into the weight room, things like that, but at the same time, you still got to put the work in. How have you guys gotten creative? Have you had to do any creative workouts or anything like that?
We bring like dumbbells and stuff like that out. We just don't really go into the weight room because it's like a small place for stuff like that. So, yeah.
Now, the last couple of weeks, things are starting to open up a little bit. You're able to work out with your team, start to do stuff together. How much fun has it been the last couple of weeks to be able to get back with your guys?
It was a long time off without my friends and stuff like that. And when we came back together, it was like we never left. And we always gelled together and stuff like that.
For you as a guy who, the spotlight's been on you for, a little over a year now where, you've been widely considered the top guy in Oklahoma for this class. What's that like for you to deal with that? You see all the stuff on social media and things like that. What's that like for you? Because, at the end of the day, small town kid, what has the last, 12, 18 months been like for you to deal with all this publicity?
It's different. Sometimes it gets on my nerves and stuff, but we're in a small town, so it's not really too much going on down there. But when you go to like big cities and stuff, people ask you questions about like where you're going and stuff like that. And sometimes I just try not to let that get to my head and stuff and just keep working.
What's it like, you mentioned being in a small town, and I got to think, Beggs loves their football. It's a community that's very supportive. Talk a little bit about that aspect where it probably makes it a little bit easier because, you got your friends and, they're not going to be bothering you constantly about the whole thing. Has that made it a little bit easier to deal with all this?
Yeah, being able to go around my friends and just get my mind off college and stuff like that since all this happened has been really good and stuff like that.
Now for you did name your top four earlier this spring: OU, LSU, Clemson, Texas A&M. What about those schools, kind of separated themselves from the others?
The way they reached out was just different when they offered me. Like every single one of them was just a different hit when they offered me stuff.
For you, what's going to be important as far as where you want to end up playing? Because obviously you look at three of those with OU, LSU, and A&M. They're relatively close. Clemson a little further out there, but obviously they have a great tradition the last several years. What's going to be, some of the deciding factors in when that day comes when you're ready to commit? What's going to be some of the things that, you kind of lean on and make that deciding factor?
Me being more comfortable. Like if I feel comfortable, then I'm going to make the decision. I don't want to have any doubt in my mind that I should have went somewhere else or anything. That's why I haven't made a decision yet.
Mm-hmm. How has we mentioned the pandemic and dealing with all this? How has that interrupted? Because it's interrupted everything. And the recruits, I feel for you, man, because you're having to make a decision, for the next several years, and you're not even able to take visits, things like that. How have you adapted and, done different things? Have you taken any virtual tours, a lot of FaceTime calls, things like that?
I've done more FaceTime calls than I've had in a long time. and I did a virtual with Texas A&M, and that was really cool. And so, yeah, it's really different not being able to go to a place and feel it and stuff like that, see the players and stuff, and see some of the coaches.
You got a teammate in C.J. Brown who's also highly recruited as well in the 2022 class. How are you able to kind of lean on each other? I mean, look, you've been going through this for a while now. You're probably able to give them some advice, some tips, things like that. But at the same time, you're going through the same thing. You're probably able to lean on each other a little bit.
Yeah, on the field, we just make sure we keep our heads up and keep our team going, stuff like that.
And then as far as, the process itself, how have you – I mean, what kind of advice have you given him on what to expect? Because, I mean, look, once this year passes, you're going to be gone. He's going to be the guy. That attention's still going to be there. How have you helped him with that part?
When random people ask questions and stuff, don't get frustrated. Don't let things get to your head. Don't let things put you down and stuff like that. There's going to be hard times where you feel like you're alone and stuff, but you just got to keep praying.
Mm-hmm. Now let's talk about 2020, man, because it could be a good year for Bags in Class 2A. The last 2 years, it's been the most competitive class in Oklahoma, in my opinion. What's going to have to happen for you guys to not only make it back to a state championship game, but to win it all?
Play together. Better leadership than we had over the last couple of years. I mean, we had a good leadership last year. We had a really good leadership because we had a lot of young guys, and we knew that we were going to be young, but our leaders took over, and that's why we made it to the semifinals. But this year, we have a lot of young guys going to be older and more experienced and stuff like that. So, I mean, we'll have a good shot at it.
Now, obviously, you're being recruited as more of a defensive guy, but, looking forward to seeing what you can do on the offensive side of the ball as a receiver. Look, man, I joked before we hit record. I feel like he's grown a couple inches since the last time I talked to him. You got some size. How excited are you to take advantage of that? And, I mean, look, every time you step on the field, you're going to be taller than just about every, DB out there. How excited are you offensively to make some things happen this year?
I'm really excited because last year I didn't play wide receiver till like week 10. So this year I'm really going to be excited that I'm on the inside receiver and going to get the ball a lot more and be able to help my team win games.
Expect some fireworks, that's for sure. Because, look, I haven't seen you in person on the football field, but I've seen you in person on the basketball court several times. Mm-hmm. The guy's an athlete. He jumps out of the gym. I can't wait to see what he does jumping out of his cleats, so to speak, on a football field. Kendal, let's get out of here on this, man. When you look at this 2020 season and you look at what you guys have to do to win and compete for a state championship, what's the most exciting thing that you're looking forward to about this upcoming season?
Playing with my seniors that I've been with since I was little, and just hopefully bringing a gold ball back to Bags and leaving a legacy there.
And look, I mean, if that happens, you definitely will be remembered forever in that town. You and Rod Thompson. Shout out Rod. All right, Kendal, thanks so much for sitting down with me, man, and good luck this season.
Appreciate it.
He's Kendal Daniels. I'm Michael Knight, and this has been another one-on-one session here at OKPreps Media Days.